how do you explain snow to somebody that's never seen snow? So you can't. But you could convince somebody they want to go and have where there is snow, and they'll go.
Framing the question has always, Mother Teresa is the best at that. And the rest of us have failed really to articulate the very, very simple thing of the necessity of beauty and love over the pragmatism of being practical about, gee, I got to go get my GED or whatever the simple thing. If you see children as a gift, it's simply the greatest gift that there is.
Well, I think there's so many moments you can't even begin. You ever have a little kid run up to you, and say, "You're my friend, aren't you? You're my friend," and it's your own kid. Yeah, I'm my friend. You're your dad too. The joy of having a kid come up and grab your leg. A kid climbs up for no reason a lot of times and throws his arm around you and just gives you a hug. Or to see a baby in the crib look up at you and smile, and you say, well, you say, well, the kid's got gas. Well, bull crap, the kid knows how to smile. They're smarter than we think they are, I wouldn't have had 15 kids if I didn't think they were the greatest thing in the world,
I think one of the stereotypes of pro-lifers is, of course, other than being evangelical, white, middle class, and uneducated, is that we only care about babies, while they're in the womb. And after the womb, that's not true. We have so many stories and so many personal experiences of pro-lifers, our family included, who open up their homes, their wallets, all of their resources to women in crisis pregnancies. So it's not true that we don't care about babies after they're born. And many, many pro-lifers have opened up homes for unwed mothers. We have 3 right here in Salem, their own homes, and contributed to vast fundraising drives which help women be able to really live their lives after the baby's born.
Yeah, you guys won. What do you mean we won? Well, you just won. And I said, I don't understand. Would you come over and talk to us? I can't come in there. And then the girls started crying and saying, I'm not going through with the abortion. I saw your signs out in front. And so then you start talking to them. Do you need help? Yes. And the aunt's saying, well, if you're going to keep this blank and blank child, she's 15 years old and she's pregnant right now. Father, nobody there's home. The grandmother is raising her. Mother is a drug addict. And I'm the aunt. And then who's going to raise this child? Who's going to help her? I said, we'll be there to help her.
Why would a human have a blah until 9 months, and after 9, boom, all of a sudden it's now a human being, And that was the nice thing about seeing the babies, I think, is the fact that you could see a baby at 4 weeks, and you have to look through a microscope to see it. And basically, it just looks like a heart. And then, boom, in 5 weeks, it's amazing how much of a baby there is in 5 weeks. And then, boom, in 6 weeks, that baby's got, everything but maybe a finger. And, in 7 weeks, and then in 8 weeks, that baby's complete. How does it go from 4 weeks to 8 weeks? Boom! But you can just see it growing. It doesn't have fingers at one stage, and it doesn't have the whole arm at one stage, and it's just within 4 weeks that baby's fully developed. All it does after that is just grow.
And the experience they should have is to see the pictures and understand what the development of a human person is. I mean, each one of us has been alive when we had a sperm and an egg joined together. And although an early child, that is shortly after conception, doesn't look like an 80-year-old man or a 12-year-old child or a baby, it still looks exactly like what a Homo sapien looks like at his given or her age.
In McBinville one night, Dr. Sacco, early in the stage, Dr. Sacco made the remark that if I could save one baby, it'll be worth all my time talking.
But one evening, it was early, say around 7, 8 o'clock, and I get this call from this woman, and she says, I just wanted to call you to let you know that I want you to meet somebody. So there's this little voice on the phone, and her name is Bree, and she says, hello, my name is Bree, and my mommy's name is Lynn. Well, the light went on. And her mother said, she's alive today because of you. So that was very moving for me. So that impacted my life because I thought we don't expect reward. We don't expect that. But if you save one life. So I'm looking back in the 25 or 26 years, you know, you stop counting. Was it all worth it? You bet it was.
And family is the best thing for the society. Family is the best thing for you and I.
And as a society, if we would treat pregnant mothers with more dignity, that would be a good thing. If God is love and we have the choice, love's choice is life. God's choice is always life. And it's a very black and white, very clear thing that He has always chosen life. From our forefathers in the Garden of Eden, what was the saying? You know, they made the first choice. They chose to walk out and to suffer. And every day, you know, we, as a society, put women up to the wall and say, okay, you have to choose between killing your child or whatever the utilitarian thing is.
And that's why I said our most successful moments, the most edifying moments for me in many in the pro-life movement are not the big victories, but they're the little ones. They're the young woman who comes and says, I was scheduled to go in for an abortion and I changed my mind. And here's my baby, and I owe the life of this baby to you and your organization. Those are the moments that really keep us going.
Shows you how peaceful. You have to tell you what. Look how peaceful it is against the city. And I'll admit, actually, in farming, you're a lot closer to Mother Nature too, even God, because you look out here all the time and who do you think of, you know? Well, it's peaceful. It beats living in Portland. So.